Hey, what's up guys? It is your girl, Coach LeighAnn, down here at LeighAnn Fitness in Plainville. Today I am bringing you yet another exercise of the week. The exercise that I'm taking you through today is a jungle gym side plank to body bridge. It's the official name. So basically it's 3 different pieces. So it's going to be one station, it's going to be one exercise followed by the next exercise, followed by the next exercise, and then that station's done. So the side plank is the first one that we're going to talk about. The first thing I want to do is just explain the jungle gym to you, the anatomy of the jungle gym, if you will. So we have the stirrup and we have the straight bar. So when we come in, we want to put the toes into the straight bar and we want to be able to push our heel against the back end of it. What a lot of us try to do is either put our toes around the straight bar, which is super uncomfortable, or we try to get our toes in this way and then push our heel against. Not going to be super successful that way. So make sure that we have the rounded piece, the stirrup, in front of the straight bar. So when we're getting ourselves in, we can kind of put one foot in first. If you got one that's turned around, oh boy, here we go. Okay, then I'm going to come into the other one. Not always the easiest thing in the world to do, as you can see. Okay, so now from here, I've got my toes facing down. I'm in my plank. I'm going to come onto my elbow for my side plank. So now my feet are going to be facing toward the side. I want the top leg to be in front. I want the bottom leg to be behind. If you notice the red attachment points at the top of the jungle gym, I think you can see those. I want to be lined up with them. So I don't want to be off to one side or the other because it's going to make me really unstable and my feet are going to start to swing. I want to get myself locked in. Feet should be right under the attachment. Lock the shoulder into position. Hips come up. Hand on the hip. Now you notice that my feet are still moving a little bit. The instability of the jungle gym is part of the challenge here, as is the added height. So I really feel this oblique, I feel this butt cheek, I feel a little bit into the quad on the bottom leg, and I'm just activating, I'm just stable for however long a period of time. From there, time to switch and just hit the other side. Same rules apply. Now if we need to make this one easier for one reason or another, ditch the jungle gyms, just do it on the floor. So this is much more stable than doing it in the jungle gyms. If I really needed to, I could just kick one leg back and do the same thing right here. So we have, varying levels of challenge depending on what we need. Now, the third part of this is the body bridge. So we're going to get our heels in the same way. So we're going to push our foot against the straight bar. Now, if I lean backwards, I think I'm still in the shot. I'm going to come off to the side just a little bit, but same thing. You want to be even with the attachment points. Now from here, I'm going to tuck my hips in so my back is flat. Make sure the toes are flexed so that we don't start using too much of the calves. We're going to push the hips up in the air. We're going to lock and hold. And that's the whole exercise. I'm going to hold the entire time. So these are all what you would call an isometric contraction, that there's really no movement happening. It's just hold for whatever the time period is. Making the body bridge easier, same idea as the side plank. Come out of it, tuck, lift, lock and hold. Okay, so especially from the floor, but both of these, not a ton of height with the hips. You just basically are making sure that your butt is not touching the floor. It's not resting on the floor. And that's it. So a lot of hamstrings and glutes. So what we did was we took a plank position and we flipped it. So gravity is the force that we're fighting against. It's pushing down on us. We're using the glutes and the hamstrings to push back up against gravity. So that's where that activation comes in. Now there's not going to be as much activation in the abs as there would be in a traditional plank because again, the gravity is not pushing down on us the same way. But at the same time, that means that we really need to make sure that we're activating the abs and that we're tucking the hips so that the low back doesn't start to try to come up. So keep in mind, as I say, there's not going to be a ton of height from the hips. If we think about leg extension just in general, that's about as much natural extension as you get. We're talking like 5-10 degrees. Any more than that is just rotation through the back. So when you're coming up, as long as your hips are tucked and your glutes are active, you're only going to get a little bit of height. Don't feel like you have to be in this position. That doesn't mean that it's correct. In fact, that means that it's wrong. So if you have questions on any one of these, there's a lot of pieces. If you have a question, feel free to ask any one of your coaches. We will help you out, and we'll see you at your next training session.